Toy Story 4's emotional ending might be overshadowed by Toy Story 5, with Woody's return hinted at in the new sequel. Toy Story 5 brings back Andrew Stanton as a writer and now also as the director, potentially retconning Woody's storyline from the previous film. The teaser image for Toy Story 5 suggests Woody's reunion with his friends may not be as straightforward as it seems.
It's complicated.
5 years after its wildly successful release, Toy Story 4's emotional ending still sticks in my mind, but recent news about Toy Story 5 makes me think the previous movie's conclusion is about to be rendered inert. The fourth movie in the Toy Story series took over $1 billion at the box office, making it one of the highest grossing Pixar movies of all time. The movie's financial triumph is one thing, but I think its emotional ending to the saga was actually pretty fitting. Unfortunately, the upcoming sequel seems like it wants to take the series back on itself. The Toy Story 5 reveals at D23 included Andrew Stanton being confirmed as the writer and director. Stanton didn't direct the 2019 Toy Story effort, but he did help pen the screenplay. The long-standing Pixar figure has been heavily involved with projects by the studio, including directing 2008's Wall-E and 2016's Finding Dory. So while I have faith that Toy Story 5 will be an enjoyable ride, I can't shake the feeling that part of its premise is something of a Woody retcon. Toy Story 4 ends with Woody parting ways with many of his oldest friends, opting for a life of freedom without an owner. I remember the heartfelt farewell between Woody and Buzz feeling like the last time the legendary duo would ever interact. Weirdly, the first released image from Toy Story 5 has Woody back with the others. To me, this undercuts Toy Story 4's final scene and what I truly believe was intended to be the final installment of the Toy Story franchise at the time.
We don't know what we did.
I've always seen Toy Story 4 as an epilogue for Woody as he tries to come to terms with losing Andy despite having a new owner in Bonnie. I was nervous when the movie was announced because of how perfect Toy Story 3's ending was. Thankfully, I found myself won over by the project upon release. I don't think Toy Story 4's ending undoes the previous installment's conclusion, but rather extends it. However, Toy Story 5 does seem to be treading on the toes of its predecessor by bringing Woody back into the fold. The Toy Story 5 teaser image may not be exactly what it seems to be. At first glance, it looks as though Woody has been fully reunited with his old friends for the upcoming sequel. In all likelihood, I think this is Stanton's plan. On the other hand, there are alternatives. The released image may not be a screenshot at all, or even truly representative of what will happen in Toy Story 5. It could be strictly for promotional purposes to aid in the announcement of the premise that Bonnie will be distracted from her toys by a tablet. Alternatively, Woody's reunion may not be permanent. Daunted by the fact of not being played with because of Bonnie's new device, the toys may have sought out Woody for help, hoping their friend and former leader can help them enact a plan that will result in them being favoured again over the tablet. If so, this opens the door for Woody to depart again at the end of the movie or even decide to stay again on a full-time basis. With little context surrounding the image, there's no way of knowing until more information is made public. I'm very torn about Toy Story 4's ending being undermined by the story continuing. I felt like it was the perfect way to leave the story. Unfortunately, I don't think making another movie would work if the characters are in the same situation as they were when the last time we saw them. Buzz and Woody's friendship has always been at the heart of the saga, and the thought of them having separate adventures for an entire movie just doesn't sit well with me. As a result, I think the only real solution is to bring them back together. So although I'm uneasy about Andrew Stanton essentially unwriting his own ending from the previous movie, it's something of a necessity if another movie is going to be produced. If Toy Story 4's ending is respected too heavily, Toy Story 5 would stick out like a sore thumb among the other entries in the franchise.
He sticks out like a sore thumb.